So that was an interesting learning experience. Did you get all the hype? Did you get all the fear? Hype, 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 terror, terror, terror. Once again, I ask you viewers, who is really terrorizing you? Yeah, it's a couple thoughts. So let me throw these at you. And that is, do you remember the swine flu? Oh my God, pandemic, everybody's going to die. Who terrorized you there? Huh. Even in Sharon, right? We were sending out on the radio waves, swine flu outbreak. Watch one of the preceding shows. I tuned in the radio for information about the swine flu outbreak. What outbreak? But who sold you the hype? Who hyped up the terror? Okay? Iran has nukes. There's another one for you. Oh my God. Well, they've had nukes for years, huh? Pakistan's got nukes. China's got nukes. Okay? Iran doesn't even have nuclear bombs. They've got nuclear power plants that we sold them. When I say we, your wonderful government. But who's putting the fear in you every day, every day, every day? Oh my God, if you don't give us this bailout money, the TARP money, right, to save all the banks so that they'll lend so that people won't lose their homes for this, mortgage crisis thing, what happens? They do it on a weekend. When Monday comes up, they say, we're not giving the money for mortgages. We're giving it to our buddies, the bankers, who happen to have record bonuses. Who terrorized you that you had to steal money from your grandchildren and enslave them in poverty by spending money that they haven't even earned yet? Who sold you that hype? Who sold you that terror? Who is terrorizing you? So yeah, we get the butthole bomber. Yep. Boy, that's rather interesting, huh? Well, we're going to do naked body scans. Once again, show them where in history they did it before. Here's now and then. There are your papers. And if they succeed, if we go through this, if you allow yourself, think about what it mentally is going to do to you. Okay? The whole idea is these scanners and stuff. It's all conditioning. You're being conditioned to be what? The obedient little slave. Where's your dignity? Where's your humanity? And not just that, where's your own self-respect? Where are the men out there? I asked that many times on the show. Okay? So yeah, it's just like being strip searched. Why don't you show us your genitalia before you get in seat, aisle 3, seat B? We need to see your genitalia. It's really important. For your own safety. It's for your own good. Oh, and we never store the images. Oh, no. This has got nothing to do with biometric scans. Oh, no. It's about breaking your will. How do you get people to the point where they'll do anything? Where they'll take their clothes off before you shoot them? Has that happened before in history? Take some pictures of the Holocaust. Take a good look at what they did. And understand, this is not the first time in history. This police state that's being created, could it be all based on a lot of lies? That when investigation's done, when real investigations, not a commission that lets the big crooks off. And by the way, with all this happening, do you know one person who got fired? Must be real important to them, huh? They fly private jets. Pelosi's got a private jet, but they passed laws that says you have to show your genitalia. Yeah, think about it. So anyway, here, global warming. Remember, that was the fear, okay? So anyway, here's a couple for you. Did they tell you all about Al-Qaeda? Yeah. Who started Al-Qaeda? Where's it from? Yeah. Did they tell you the banks were going to fail? Remember, you better bail out the banks. Did they tell you why swine flu was going to take over the world and be a pandemic? Who sold you that fear? Who pushes and pumps and injects fear into you daily? Okay? Did they, let's see, did they tell you who's being investigated? Oh, yeah, for swine flu hoax? Take a look in France. There's some homework. Find out what's happening in France or watch one of my next shows. I'll show you where they're making millions of dollars buying useless vaccine. But more than there are the amount of people in France. Anyway, okay. Did they tell you the real unemployment numbers? Did they tell you that the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, uses hedonics? Do you know what hedonics is? Once again, who's feeding you this terror? Who's terrorizing you? Okay? Did they tell you that torture was good? So you now believe torture is good. It's against the Constitution. You can't torture people. If you bother to read the Constitution, that's unconstitutional. So anyone who swears an oath to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States and still says we, the American people, should torture people, Well, I got news for you. One, they're disobeying the Constitution, they're disobeying their oath, and in my eyes, they're no longer American. You're American when you follow the rules of law of America, and that is the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Think about that for all you people who took an oath, because as soon as you do something unconstitutional, and I'm aware of it, you're no longer whatever it says in your title, whatever it says in your badge. I don't care, because if it's unconstitutional, it's my duty and your duty to stop it. Okay. Did they tell you that spying on your neighbor was good? Remember all you bankers out there? We've got to spy if you transact any money. Remember, because there was the war on drugs. Who sells you all this fear? Who is it? Okay? Did they tell you that we were militarizing our police? Here's a couple pictures. This is here around Boston, Massachusetts, in Lexington. They're looking for a bank robber. Take a look at the attire that they choose to use. Take a look at the equipment they choose to bring with them. And I'll ask you, are they militarizing your police? In Springfield, Massachusetts, they now were issued grenade launchers. Yeah, what do the Springfield police need to launch grenades at? Are they militarizing your police? Are you seeing any of this? Are you waking up? Have you figured out who's doing the terrorizing? Okay, anyway, for the good old underwear bomber, think of these three words. This is the Hegelian dialectic. Problem, reaction, solution. Problem. We've got a guy who was able to shove a bomb up his derriere. Evidently it wasn't a bomb because the plane didn't break up. Okay? And by the way, why was there, witnesses saying someone came on the plane with him and was videotaping the guy the whole time? Was that his CIA handler? My only question to you. Okay? But the problem, once again, he buys his ticket with cash. That's interesting, He gets walked through security, brought to the boarding thing, and the boarding agent was a great American, a great patriot, or whatever. He said, no passport, no boarding ticket. Told him, you got to go see my manager. Now, how did they get the manager to get him a boarding pass? Boy, you wonder how all this happens. Why haven't they shown us the video from over there in Denmark or wherever, Amsterdam, wherever he got on the plane? Okay? Rather interesting, right? And his name's on the list of people who can't fly. These whole lists, by the way, Germany had lists, Stalin had lists, Mao had lists, Idi Amin had lists. What happens when people that dissent politically, do they get on the list? How do you get on the list? How do you get off the list? So anyway, the problem once again, butthole bomber, okay? The reaction, oh my God, we've got to strip search every person. And you say, well, it's not that inconvenient. They don't take my clothes off. No, they just get to look at your genitalia. Yeah, why not? Because you're used to cowering. You're a coward. I'm telling you out there, you viewers, because no real men have come on the show and said, no way, I'm standing up for me and my family. We're not going to be treated like Al-Qaeda. Why, you wonder, did they sell us that there's white Al-Qaeda now? Oh my gosh. We'll get into that in a bit. Okay, the solution. Yeah, problem, reaction, solution. The solution is we need these body scanners. Nobody gets fired. Nobody all the way down through the chain of command gets fired for this. But what we need is more money spent, more money spent, more money spent. More technology, more money spent, da-da-da-da-da. Who's making money from this? Are the insiders making money from this? I actually think it's going to hurt the economy, but that's just me. You can think what you want. Okay, but also, too, will this help control mobility? We've got now the checkpoints on the roads. They call them sobriety checkpoints. But we've had the military running them now. Wow. You want a country where the military runs checkpoints inside your country? Boy, when has that happened before in history? Who's terrorizing you? And for all you Jewish viewers out there, do you remember back over there in Europe and Germany, they taught everyone to hate Jews? You probably do remember that. Hopefully you remember that, because I'll ask you now, never forget it. Do you see the same thing they're doing now, except now it's hate Muslims. Hate Muslims. That's what they're telling you. Can't be trusted. They're all suicide bombers. They're fanatic religious people. Yet when you look behind the scenes, who's funding all this stuff? Who's it benefiting? Who's terrorizing you?